Welcome everybody. My name is Michael and today we're discussing about what's happened over these past couple of days. Maybe that had a 2% impact on what happened on DJT token, a token that was loosely associated. There was a whole bunch of Donald Trump tokens and meme coins, and anytime there's a popular figure such as Elon Musk, or anytime a political event happens, or even recently when Donald Trump mentioned certain things about Bitcoin, people get excited and they put their money where their mouth is and it gets invested into the markets, or maybe they're gambling with it or whatever. Who knows? Who cares? There's people who've designed a bunch of tokens out there from famous celebrities, politicians, meme lords, and that's all it takes is sometimes a good following on X or on YouTube, a little bit of a promotion, some hype, a couple events, and there we go. You get a token to pump up $50 million, $100 million worth. This DJT token that was worth $55 million, well, the market capitalization, suddenly went below $3 million. So how did this asset fall 94, 95% in a matter of seconds? Well, you had a certain token holder that sold $2 million worth, and you had this giant red candle that just completely collapsed the floor. Everything went down. Some early token holder who had $2 million worth sold it straight for Solana, and that was it. Someone previously sold $830,000 worth back in June. So in June, this project came about. $830,000 was sold. There was some internet sleuths who did some investigation. There was a $150,000 bounty. Who was behind DJT coin? And they found Martin Shkreli was behind DJT coin. Now, Martin Shkreli admitted, yes, he was behind it, but he was also involved with Barron Trump. That's at least what he said. So internet sleuths were like, really? Would Barron Trump be involved with this? Well, first off, let's think about this logically. Barron Trump is currently the son of President Donald J. Trump, previous president, and potentially the next president. Who knows? So right now, right before one of the most tense, most controversial election cycles America's ever seen, I mean, it's basically a circus with everything going on, even with news. Again, let's not get into politics, but like last week, RFK Jr. coming out and saying, yeah, I dropped a dead bear in the middle of Central Park in New York City. I mean, there's just so many crazy stories coming out from all different political sides, from all different politicians. It is crazy. For people outside America, you're just getting your popcorn and like, wow. So in the middle of one of the most tense political environments ever, you have a son of a multi-billionaire who for sure is going to be a multi-millionaire, if not billionaire himself. This kid's already set for success because of his name. The name itself is worth probably millions and millions and millions of dollars. And then he's very popular from the internet. Obviously, he's got a very popular dad. He might have a future political career or a future business career. The world's his oyster, right? Two very popular parents, very rich, very powerful parents. He's going to be rich and powerful. And you're telling me he decides in one of the most riskiest times, a couple months right before election, with everything that's going on right now, someone who's already a multimillionaire, a son of billionaires, is going to say, you know what, for $2 million, not even a whole $2 million, because then after fees, for $2 million, I'm going to jeopardize every single thing. I don't buy it, because this is coming from, there's zero evidence, although Martin Shkreli came out and said, oh, there's thousands of pieces of evidence that Barron's involved with this. He was working with Barron on this cryptocurrency token. I don't buy it, because, again, why would someone who is a son of a billionaire suddenly jeopardize everything for a sum of money he most likely already has and will easily be able to acquire through legitimate means? He doesn't even have to be rich. He can go out on the street today and he can most likely, just using his name and his wits and his connections, get $2 million in a single 24-hour period. I'm sure he can. He's the son of one of the most powerful people on this planet. And you're telling me he's involved himself with someone who's been previously convicted of financial crimes. Yes, Martin Shkreli, who served 6 years in a federal prison for hiking up It's not like, oh, he was serving crimes for something completely unrelated. No. He hiked up. He price gouged a drug, a life-saving drug, 5,000% up. He was once quoted the most hated man in America. Now, yes, if you dig deeper, there's certain controversies regarding that. Maybe he was a scapegoat for the larger industry. Obviously, there's much larger players who, those guys are the real evil, whatever. Who cares? I don't think he's necessarily a good person. I don't really know all about him. Yes, media always portrays this out. But someone who's already been convicted of federal crimes and served many years behind them for securities fraud, it's very tempting for this individual who's involved with multiple other cryptocurrency tokens at the moment, multiple of these cases, and there's certain pieces of evidence that connect. Maybe it's Martin Shkreli or one of the people around his circle who might have been involved in this pump and dump, basically. You're telling me that this person, who may or may not have the best moral character, was the best partner for the son of one of the most powerful people on the planet. Barron probably wouldn't even want to work with this guy just due to his reputation. That itself, I'm sorry, at a certain level, you're just not going to associate yourself with other people for liability reasons, right? And especially for something pretty sketchy like this. Yes, okay, DJT token. Well, anybody's able to make that. Anybody can make a Trump coin, Trump token, Trump whatever. Anybody can sell merchandise or anything with somebody else's face on it or their name, so that's not proof in itself. And there's certain pieces of evidence that these internet sleuths came out with, such as there's other projects that Martin Shkreli's involved with, that these administrators on the chat groups that are promoting these tokens, the holders, the people who sold these tokens, were holding other coins and tokens that were also promoted by these same admins from these different groups that are all associated with Martin Shkreli. So I doubt Barron was selling $2 million and was also investing in other stuff that Martin Shkreli had. I think this is just an excuse for, get the attention away from me. It wasn't me. Maybe it was the man who, spent a couple years behind bars, who's just back to his old schemes again. You can't teach a old dog new tricks. They're going to keep repeating the same stuff. I don't know. We can't judge. We don't know who it is. But I sure don't believe it is anybody from the Trump family who's doing that. Regardless of your opinion, I think this is like, yes, this is the perfect excuse. Yeah. I don't know if it's Martin Shkreli. I don't know if it's his friend. I don't know if it's somebody in his circle. It probably is somebody in his circle. The evidence is pointing to somebody in his circle. It could possibly be him, allegedly him. This thing stinks. It's sketchy. And obviously with what's happening in the markets right now, where, on Monday as well, the Dow Jones had one of the worst, opening days since like April of 22 or something like that. Where, the Dow Jones lost over 1,000 points. I think it was like 1,200 or something crazy like that. We're still down like 3,000 from where we were. And this past week has been absolutely terrible in cryptocurrency. The large hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars globally across the market, gone, wiped out, see ya, goodbye in a matter of hours. And you had these terrible events. I'm sure that also impacted the price of the token. But, the real nail in the coffin was pump and dumping, a fair portion of the supply. Somebody who held 15% of the total tokens available just decided, bam, wham, bam, ma'am, see you, goodbye. And that was that. And that's how you ruin a project. Now, whoever that was might now be a multimillionaire. But they might also have to launder their money. And they're probably not, it's not going to be a good idea for them to stay in America, because that certainly sounds like some securities fraud to me. Now, one thing I do have to mention is both Melania and Donald J. Trump have both promoted their NFTs in the past. And they've done pretty well, especially for resellers. Obviously, great campaign funding right there. But again, think about this logically. If you're the child of a family that's hopefully been treating you well, right? If you get along with your parents and everything's great, you're probably not going to do something this silly, especially, once you're turning a little bit older there, planning to go to college and whatnot. We all had a lot of stupid ideas, but this would take the cake. There is the other aspect. There's people coming out and saying, well, Martin Shkreli wouldn't want to sever his ties with the Trump family. I'm sure they don't want to be associated with this man because, that's just a liability again there. So I don't think Martin Shkreli really cares. We don't know who it is, but someone benefited greatly. And Martin Shkreli's always been involved in some interesting things. Just very interesting, a very interesting man. But that is today's story. So what have we learned from this? Well, don't invest in random meme coins unless you're okay with potentially losing your money. It's kind of like playing the lottery. You can't get upset that you didn't win the lottery because maybe, just maybe, you might win. Same odds with this, maybe a little better odds than the lottery, but still pretty really, really, really teeny, tiny, small odds that you're going to get away with, oh yeah, everything's pumping up, let's make a bunch of money from this meme coin. And I'm not talking about like popular Dogecoin and other meme coins that are in the top 50, top 100, even the top 200. We're talking about something with less than a $50 million market cap at its peak. Something incredibly risky. All these Solana altcoins that are pumping and dumping, you got to be careful. So again, if you're treating it like the lottery, have some fun, burn some money, who cares? But in this economy, I would certainly be very careful with your money because there's some political, economical, major global turmoil happening this year, and let's hope things get better, huh? Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Oh, and thank you for 2,500 subscribers. I think we hit it, and then we lost the subscribers. Now we're at like 24.99, and then we lost another 24.98. But that's what happens when I don't post a video in a week, so I'm back.